So I think without divine intervention, the Broncos win maybe 4 games this year. So, I mean, I think that's the only way that I can explain the Broncos beating the Steelers.
That was an incredible ending to that game yesterday. Did you see it?
I didn't see it live.
Really?
I nodded, I was doing some stuff when they headed into overtime, and then I came back and the game was suddenly already over.
I got to tell you mine. You want to know mine?
Yeah.
Okay, I was on Skype with my girlfriend, right? I'm doing Skype, we're talking to each other, right? You ever see the football commercial? The commercial where the guy's got he's got a phone. And it's showing him up to date scores and everything, and he's got it he's hidden. He's got it hidden under the table. And she's going I feel like you're not paying attention to me. I feel like you're checking the scores of the game, or you're watching the game. And he goes, "What am I, some sort of summoner? I can just summon the game up." And she goes, "Okay, good. So you're just paying attention to me." Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's what was happening yesterday. I was Skyping with my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
We're doing the Skype thing, and she's like, "I want you. You're not paying attention to me." And I go, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am paying attention to you." And she goes, "No, you're watching the game with the corner of your eye." I go, "What game? What are you talking about?" Game was going into overtime. I was dying. She wanted me to just focus on us, right? And she's talking and everything. I'm they're going into overtime. I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to watch that? Pretend? So I'm talking, I'm listening to her, and I'm I'm trying to pretend I'm not paying attention to the game. And in the corner of my eye, I see this guy running down the field. And I'm like, yes! Just like that commercial.
I hear the best way to circumnavigate a situation like that is that you can get a blowjob while you're watching the game. So that way, everyone's a winner. She wins, you win.
Way to take us down to the lowest level, lady. Way to take us down there.
But how else do you explain the Broncos' success? They got nobody,
I did not think they were going to win. I in my weekend pool, I took Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I took Pittsburgh. Denver had basically backed into the playoffs.
Right.
They lost their last 3 games.
Yeah.
You had said the last time we talked during the show that you would give Denver's odds of winning the Super Bowl at 50-1.
Yeah.
Did you see what I posted on your Facebook?
Yeah.
The odds makers gave it 50-1.
Yeah.
And I was like, lady, forget about Alexander. Become a bookie. Become an odds maker. That's what they gave it, 50-1, right? So my weekend pool, we took Pittsburgh because they backed into the playoffs. They shouldn't even made it, right? They lost their last 3 games, 2 of them at home, and the last one, not only was it at home, but it was to a team that didn't even make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So there was no business. What were they doing? They were terrible, right? So I was like, okay, we're done with Tebow. He's not going anywhere. He shot his wad, and everybody now has the book on him, and they know how to beat him, right?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, he had a phenomenal game, and not just the last pass. The entire game, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He had the kind of game that great quarterbacks have
Yeah.
when they show up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He looked like a guy who had been there for years. And he was playing against Ben, and he outplayed him.
Yeah. 316 yards. Not coincidentally, because John 3:16 is, "For God so loved the world that he sent his only Son, so that whoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life."
And not only that, it was 31.6 yards per pass. And not only that, but the Nielsen rating during the time that he threw the pass
was 31.6.
Yes.
He's the most visible representative of organized religion in America today.
He might be right now the most visible person in sports. I will see. Time will tell. But right now, he's got a very high TVQ.
Do you think that God could possibly be using him, a guy, a Christian, to speak to the world about the importance of God?
Sure, why not? I think that God is behind everything. Every single thing in this world God is doing. So the question of did God intervene in the game is not a real question. God intervenes in every game. God determines all these games before they start.
Even the games in the Asian massage parlor.
What?
They play some games in there. Does God intervene in every game?
God intervenes in every game. You notice how as soon as I start talking about God, lady has to try to go someplace with sex, right? He can't listen to God. Let's see if we can just stay focused, okay? God intervenes. All games are a manifestation of God. He determines who's going to win before the game starts. So to say he suddenly intervenes with Tim Tebow is ridiculous. He is intervening in all games.
Right.
Okay? As you can see, like, God hates the Clippers, right?
Right.
He's clearly not a Clippers fan. What we might say is because of Tebow's praying and becoming such a demonstrable person, God has changed a lot of his original plans.
Yeah.
Like, he might have said, oh, okay, well, I'll give it to, like, New England this year, right? But because Tebow started, doing all this praying, he's like, okay, you know what, I'll switch it.
Yeah.
We'll do, and that's quite possible because he might have said, this is a good time. There's a cultural revolution in America, or I shouldn't say revolution, but a cultural war in America between the liberals who hate God, hate religion, hate Christians especially, hate Christianity, right? And you have the devout Christians on one side, and you have the the liberal atheists on the other, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can pull a few atheists and a few secularists over to the religious side.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think it's a great thing. I think that's a great thing. That if, I'd rather live in a Christian, fanatical America, the way it was designed, the way it had started off, right? In a way it's always been strong with those Judeo-Christian values, right? I would rather live in a right-wing, devout Christian country, right? Than live in a secular atheist country. A secular, atheist, liberal, Christian-bashing country is not the place for Jews. That's not a good place for us. Well, a good place for us is the way America's been in a Christian country. So if we can pull some of these secularists over, right, because they see miracles happening on the football field, great, more power to them.
If the Broncos win the Super Bowl,
they're going to burn down the mosque.
It's got to be God. It's got to be God.
Well, everything. Did you not listen to a damn word I just said?
I did, but I didn't.
If the Broncos don't win the Super Bowl, it's God.
Do you think Shmuley Bateak will be the next chief rabbi of the British Empire?
What?
Shmuley Bateak is up the chief rabbi of England, the British Empire.
The guy's I'm not going to say nobody takes him seriously. Okay, what's happening here? Obama's trying to get the Jew vote. Oh, yeah. So, are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God is in every football game.
Okay, so I got these Captain Save-A-Ho tendencies. Like when I find a cute woman in prostitution or in stripping or in nude modeling, I want to save her.
What does this have to do with Torah?
Well, many people in the Torah have Captain Save-A-Ho tendencies too. But many of these women don't want to be saved, and all that happens is that I get lost into my estimate of sin. Like, don't you ever want to save a hooker? Like, let me pull her out of this life.
No, I have nothing to do with that world.
You never this is a nice stripper, maybe I can help her get through college and she can have an honorable job.
No, I don't.
So you don't have any Captain Save-A-Ho?
I don't fraternize with strippers and hookers.
Really?
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
Although that's a lie. When
you used to do that comedy show.
When I used to do the comedy show, I was surrounded by people in the porn industry. Yeah. I showed you that. You were you were shocked. Yeah. Right? No, I was surrounded by people in the porn industry, but I never felt like I need to get them out of there.
Really?
Nah. It was as long as they don't try to pull me
pull you in.
pull me out of Judaism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think they need to get me out of religion.
Yeah.
And they preach that to me.
Right.
Then I don't feel like I needed to preach to them to get out of that. It's like people are adults.
So why do some Orthodox Jews want women to sit at the back of the bus?
The back of the bus?
Yeah, ours is different from racial segregation because we've got these buses in Israel where the men sit up front and the women sit in the back.
Okay, can I answer that?
Yeah.
That's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue there
yeah.
is that it's a government-funded bus. It's a public bus, right? And it's a secular, anti-religious country.
Right.
So to push religious Judaism, Torah, on a secular thing that is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Which is why people are fooling themselves when they think that there's something holy about the state of Israel. There is nothing holy. It's an anti-Torah, anti-religious, anti-God, secular, liberal country. Okay? There's nothing Jewish about the state of Israel. Okay? There's nothing Jewish about that country, folks. So the idea that, it's a religious country, forget it.